Welcome back to the Pleasant Street Garage, home of the Hot Rod RV. That's the one, that's the one. Well, all right. A couple of videos ago, it was my thumbnail creation video for the remaking of the Dodge Mahal. I mentioned a couple of heavy-hitting life situations coming at me. Now, I'm still navigating those waters, but everything's going good. The band's breaking up. I'm losing my lead guitarist and my backup vocals, and we're going in different directions. No need to sweat it though. We got an excellent video today. I'm glad you're here. I've been asked to leave the house I've lived in, well, since before my boys were born, since before I met their mother. I lived there with my daughter when she was in diapers. And so the landlord comes by to collect rent and says, I want you out of here by May. And that's all I've got to say about that. And so that's why we're not getting any hands on the Hot Rod RV at the moment. Getting it handled. I'm on track to come out the other side better than ever. When we do get working on her again, we're gonna get a floor in this thing. That's gonna require a ton of metal work around here. And we've also got to consider everything else that we want to do under the floor before it goes down. But I am tired of walking on this metal framework. So yeah, the floor. We want to get, we're going to come up here somewhere. We're going to leave these jacks exposed. Same thing in the rear. We're going to go all the way back to the jacks. Probably leave an opening around the fuel tank, some sort of access for the top of the fuel tank. And I'm considering a hatch here over the transmission. At some point, we're going to be looking at a gear vendor's overdrive unit. And I really wanted to install that before we did the floor. But if we wait for the funds to show up to support that project, we'll be waiting a long time. It's gonna take me a couple of more weeks before I see land. But it's coming. Hang in there with me. We're gonna build this rig. So in this video, we're gonna take a look at 3 projects that are gonna get some attention in future episodes. One of them is my truck. We'll get into that in a minute. The other 2 are the Beetle project and the 4-wheel drive van. Let's go take a look at these wrecks. So this thing is my response to all those $30,000 and $40,000 side-by-sides everybody's rocking in the trails. I bought a 2000 4-wheel drive Chevy Tracker, scraped the body off it with torches and chisels, set this baby on here. If you throw a battery in it, it currently runs and drives. Let's take a closer look. This fiberglass panel here, this is the interior finished wall for the Hot Rod RV. It goes in the bedroom. There's the back window. And you can see this notch that's cut out of there. Well, if you watch my body swap video, I had to drag this thing out by that cage I welded in there. This was some damage that occurred. I saved, obviously, the pieces. I'm gonna get them glassed back in there, refinish it, whatever. And this has just been a great place to store this because it's the right shape. The same guy that hooked me up with a fuel tank for the Dodge Travco hooked me up with this baby. This is nice, galvanized tank, baffled. Your regular air-cooled Volkswagen Baja bugs would have had the engine hanging out here with a cage around it. So I figured I would build a cage similar to that, designed to hold a cooler for your sandwiches and your juice boxes, stuff like that. I also got this old motorcycle muffler off of Harley. I don't know. They run the stingers on these Beetles. They call them a stinger. Who knows? It's too early to tell how this project will play out, because these things, they tell you how the project's gonna go. You've only got limited input. The project itself decides its own fate. I think this thing would just look awesome towed behind the Dodge Travco and serve a purpose. When you set up camp, you'd have a vehicle to run to the store with, whatever you had to do. Maybe just bright electric yellow paint job, or olive drab with a white star on the door. I don't know. Definitely something groovy. In like the four-wheel drive van project, what I like to do is get a couple of $1,000 shoved into a project and then push it over in the bushes and leave it there for years. Oh, she's right full of crap. We got this Hurst Promatic shifter that's in the box. I wanted to adapt it to fit there. That steering wheel's too small, but man, these old Bajas and buggies look great with these little wheels. Maybe it's not too small. Maybe we'll use it. What else we got? An electric fan. Hey, there's that J-hook chain I've been looking for. I thought somebody stole that thing. Oh, we got a cherry bomb new in the box. Seat belts everywhere. So I got some seat brackets in there somewhere. So tilt column. This is your factory Chevy Tracker HVAC system. You can see the floor, everything is still Chevy Tracker. When I cut the body away, I made sure I always maintained the ability for it to run and drive. I also made sure I kept everything for the AC. That way, when I'm out in the trails, 95 and humid here in Maine, I'd be the coolest cat in town. So now let's cruise over into the boneyard and check out this heap. The story is that this van belonged to the president of a motorcycle club here in Maine. Those barn doors on the side, I installed those. It had a slider. You guys know those things fail. They're big, they're heavy. These barn doors are the way to go. I also went down to coastal Massachusetts a couple hours away to pick up those front doors that say Coachman. My brother hooked me up with the wheels and tires. The four-wheel drive conversion in this van was provided by a company called Pathfinder Equipment. They were making, selling, and installing these kits from 1973 to 1992. There's one of my spare windshields for the Hot Rod RV. I picked up springs, front and rear, so that we can get this thing leveled out, all new springs. Well, we've got some junk in here. Oil fill. This is the early style front bumper, 71 to 77 Chevy van. It's actually in really good shape. Lights. We got parts, we got pieces. There's a Max fan, brand new in the box. Likely gonna go on the Hot Rod RV. Whoa! Somebody ought to finish putting that thing on. Check this out. She only gets AM. Pretty cool. Red dash. We got the doghouse. Red seats. Beat the thunder. Engine's out. Part of this Pathfinder kit is this sweet shifter knob for the transfer case, branded with the Pathfinder name. Yep, she's a round eye. There is the NP205 transfer case. For those of you that know, that is a badass transfer case. Cast iron, gear driven rig. Check out this mount here. That's also part of the Pathfinder conversion. Excellent job. Everybody wants this cool old hot rod stuff, but they don't want the parts that come with it. The breakdowns, the unexpected repairs right before you want to road trip the thing. I like that we got no windows in this side. That is excellent. You want an overland camper? There she is. There's a couple of different ways I can go with the engine in this thing. I've got several 350 engines and all the components to assemble it. Rings, pistons, gaskets, all that. But I've also got a stroker big block I've mentioned before, waiting to be assembled. I even considered a 6-cylinder for this thing, which would just be a fun thing to do. Don't pay any attention to that motorcycle lift. That's for another video, another day. Let's get on this project. This thing has been off the road way too long. I have got to get this thing back inside, get the transmission in it, and put it back into service. It's got a turbo 400 with a manual valve body. I tried to go with an automatic valve body, you know, try to calm it down a little bit. Turned out the other turbo 400 I bought came out of a CUCV, which is a military truck. Uses a different transfer case, and I didn't have that. The thing's got to be somewhere around 550 horsepower. And I ran cherry bombs on it. It's hard to keep you cool when it sounds sweet and pins you back in the seat. And that goes double for big women. So she'll be coming in here right shortly. And we're gonna start burning up the streets with this baby again. Had some issues with the engine, so I went through it a third time. Oh man, baby, what is daddy doing to you? Oh, hey, check that out. There's a pretty groovy cup holder I built. My phone would lock into that, right? So now you got your navigation, and it's just an awesome thing. Just made that out of some round stock steel. O2 sensor, because when you're hot rodding, you gotta pay attention to your air fuel mixture. Never did get the stereo installed, but I do have a nice factory original stereo, etc. Within a week of finishing this truck with my body work and paint and everything, boy did I have a malfunction at my buddy's shop. I pulled it right into his garage, crashed into a huge floor standing fan. The propellers whirled around, the screen came off it, smashed the hell out of the body here. It was a scene, man. It also caused that damage on the bottom of the door. We're gonna get this thing inside, get it back together, and get it running. Get it on the road by early June. Stay tuned and we'll have a video for that. Oh. I'm such a bad truck daddy. I've got this book right here all about my truck. Oh, look at that, right beside my Travco info. We've got this book here about my truck. Well, let's see what's going on in there. There it is. That's what I was looking for. I've got receipts for this truck. I mean, Summit, Brothers, LMC truck, machine shop, body shop. It's all in there. Oh man. Now what you don't want to do is sit down and add that up, because you will cry. If you watch my drag race video, you can clearly see the times on the clock at the end. The ink's fading here, so I wrote it in by hand. 1/8 mile, 9 seconds, 78 miles per hour. 1/4 mile, 14 seconds, 95 miles an hour. Isn't that funny? The first half of the race gets you up to 80 miles an hour. And then the second half of the race, you only gain 15 more miles an hour. We're gonna have to work on that. All right, let's see how that measures up. Here we go, Dodge Challenger, SRT Hellcat, Looks like it's 7 seconds in the 8th mile, between 100 and 105 miles an hour. Now your modified Hellcats are way beyond that. So my truck, you know, the layman doesn't realize how fast that is. This truck dominates on the street. Your races on the street are not a quarter of a mile long. Heck, they're not even 1/8 of a mile long. They're stoplight to stoplight. This thing is full-time 4-wheel drive. So when that light turns and I mash that pedal, it just launches. If you're in the other lane and you break loose, I'm gone. Modern Corvettes, right here. 6-7 second range, 100 miles an hour, or exceeding 100 miles an hour. And with your street races, generally, whoever gets the jump is going to get the win. If you're talking about 2 hot rides. But you got to remember, this is a 3/4 ton plow truck. I must be shattering all kinds of egos. Now, I haven't beat a new Corvette yet on the street. I feel like if we had a fair launch, I could at least make them think a little before they finally overtake me. All right, there's another good one for the books. Who the hell am I to think that a 46-year-old plow truck is gonna smoke a brand new Corvette? Or maybe even the Hot Rod RV. We got a lot of work to do this summer. Keep coming back. I love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's build this thing.